You know, I don't normally get really, really pissed off about stuff when it comes to wrestling. I always try to have a good open mind of what's going on. Flat out. That's how I feel. It's good to have an open mind when it comes to pro wrestling because you got to look at as many different angles as possible. Didn't see it here. I'm going to go through this and go through what I saw on the show. Not in heavy detail. And I'm going to tell you why I got pissed off beyond no end. Let's go to the 8-man tag, which I felt was not wise to do. You just put all 8 people that's involved in Don Callis family, some that are dealing with Ospreay, yes. You also had Davis there, that makes some sense. But there's really no cohesive story that's going with all of them. Let's make this very clear. Lance Archer and the Brian Cage are not doing anything. They're not. Kateska is doing something. Yes. Fletcher's doing something. Yes. But it does not help those two at all. They're like stand-ins. They're never going to get anywhere. Then you got Ricochet, who is supposedly going to try and go after Kateska. But that doesn't count because there's a very strong possibility that Adam Cole is going to go after him. And you saw me like this because I'm like, are they really going to do Adam Cole doing something? Or are they going to do Ricochet? It would have been better that Adam Cole was never interjected into it. But that's what they've done. And you know who already won. I don't even need to say who won the match. But does this really give us a great storyline between Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay and Kateska with the possibility of not Adam Cole, but a Ricochet? I don't know. Moving on. Next match. Chris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida. Don't see much of Hikaru Shida. And the story of her dealing with Camille as well as Mercedes Moné, I truly feel like was botched. I'm sorry, guys. If you like what's going on between Mercedes, Camille, and Chris Statlander, I don't agree. It is a botched storyline. It is. They never gave it enough time between Chris Statlander and Camille. And now when it comes to Mercedes Moné, who was not done very well either because they took too long for her to even start working in the ring of AEW. I know many people to say, dude, there's some things you just can't control. No. Tony made the conscious choice to make sure that Mercedes did not go in the ring for over, 2 months? When she should have? And that hurt her rise as a character. It hurt her. So we see the match. It happens. Shida loses, which I was not surprised because they're not really doing anything with any of the Japanese wrestlers because they don't book them right. Then we see Mercedes come out with Camille, who's in a sling. And she's demanding her to get in the ring where she knew she didn't stand a chance. She got her ass whooped. Mercedes jumps onto Chris's back and she gets nailed. And does this feel like a legitimate storyline? No. Do I feel invested in this storyline? No. Because the way they've been booking it is for excitement only, not for character. It's not. If you're going to do something, it should be Mercedes Moné at World's End building a storyline with Saraya. That is a fucking storyline built in itself. And they're doing nothing with Saraya. She's probably either on Rampage or ROH. She's barely ever seen, unless she's not wrestling much, which I don't think so. She's working for the company. They could have made a real storyline out of a real situation that happened many, many years ago. They refused to do it, and instead of setting it up for World's End, they won't. This is what we got. Next, we get... You know what? I'm skipping that. I'm going to skip it. Claudio Castagnoli versus a Darby Allin. I knew what was going to happen. The Death Riders are not losing immediately. There's no way that Wheeler Yuta was going to win if Claudio was going to lose. Claudio won, so you know what was going to happen to Wheeler. But I'll get to that in a few minutes. I will not tell you that the match was not a brutal match for Darby Allin. Darby always get thrown around. He always looks like a pinball, gets thrown everywhere. Is it a bad thing? No, he's willing to do this. I still say he is not a Sting character. He is a Mick Foley character. He is the re-envisioning of Mick Foley, who would do absolutely anything. And I wish Mick Foley could have gone to AEW or at least made a recording or something that could have helped Darby Allin. But if he still has a Legends contract, he may not even have the option to do it. So that really hurts. But it's just me. Next, let's go for some of the stuff that happened in the back. Did I like to talk with Hangman Page? The vid pack between Hangman Page and Jay White. Hangman's part, yes, I did. Jay White, no, because he feels very weak. But I can understand why they put them together because of the actual story that Jay probably got injured by Hangman Page, as they would say. Okay. We get Big Boom AJ. He's going up against QT Marshall. I do not know who Big Boom AJ is. That must be his son with him. He hasn't been in the ring for 20 years. They're going to be doing something there. Look, someone is going to tell me who he is. I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm not I'm not telling you that he wasn't important before. But here's the problem. No build-up. Not on Dynamite. Definitely didn't see anything on Collision. I don't know if they've been doing it on Rampage or ROH. I don't care. He hasn't been in the ring for 20 years. He has not been seen on any of the mainline shows. So why would I care? You can leave a comment, which I know you will, but I'm not going to give two flips about it. Particularly that I thought QT Marshall was going to leave the company, and he hasn't. So what is he doing staying there when he has nothing to do? And that's real life. Next, the Adam Cole segment with the Kyle O'Reilly. Was it emotional? Yes. Just like what happened with the interview with Roderick Strong and somewhat MJF. But let me give it to you like this. Did that feel important? Yes. Because this still could be a story where I still say that someone's going to turn on somebody. But the way that they booked Robert Strong kind of A6 that. I'm sorry. For me personally, that upset me because at this point, we're just getting a straight fight between MJF and Roderick Strong, which really doesn't give much. Why does Roderick Strong have the reason to get angry? Why? Why is he getting angry when this is more about Adam Cole? And Roderick is getting pissed off because of Adam Cole being pissed off at MJF. And I know you're going to say, well, remember, Roderick Strong was trying to warn Adam Cole and all that. Well, guess what? He told them a while ago what was going on. That was part of the bit. So that could be thrown out. Because if it was a real thing that really happened, it would have made better sense that Roderick didn't know a damn thing. But guess what? When Adam Cole came back when he wasn't fully recovered, guess what? He said we had set this all up. It was nothing but a lie. And Roderick Strong knew about it. Now they're trying to make this mean something, and it doesn't make much sense. I can understand the reason I'm out here, and it's pissing me off that this booking is not making any sense. It's not. We don't have Adam Cole in the final match. So what is he doing? Is he going after Kateska, like I said earlier? I don't know. Is he going to listen to Kyle O'Reilly and say, why don't you drop this because people you care about are going to get hurt and you become obsessed and you're going to destroy yourself just trying to get back at someone who's worse than you are. You can't lie about it. Now, Roderick Strong, where they brought up, well, MJF, let's go to MJF. MJF brought up the information that his mom and dad were addicts and his mom shot his dad. Didn't say it was killed, but she shot his dad. And then that was brought up during the interview with Tony Schiavone. And he says, oh, wow, so great. I'm so upset. How many times have I not heard that before? So in this situation, it was a bit important to know something about Roderick Strong. But then here's the problem. What are we really... Why is he getting upset? Is he getting upset because of MJF? Or is he really getting upset because Adam Cole wants to rip the head off of MJF? Because that's what this really comes down to. Because remember, guys, Roderick Strong was upset due to the fact that Adam Cole was spending more time with him than Roderick Strong, who just came back from surgery and injury himself. And then when, remember, he was basically using Adam Cole, it makes no sense. Back then, it doesn't make any sense now. I've tried to figure this out, and at this point, coming up to Full Gear, which you guys tell me below, how do you feel about the graphic for Full Gear that is now water? They got the same system, well, the same computer graphic, but now they included water. Why are you doing a Full Gear with the same stuff, but water spraying everywhere like it's in the ocean? That makes no damn sense. You guys tell me below. I'm just saying. Now, let's go to... I'm going to say this right now. Do I feel interested in what they're going to do with Julia Hart? Yes. But where they're going to go, I don't know. It is obvious that it's going to be Jamie Hayter she's going to be dealing with. But what does this really mean for Julia Hart? Don't know. It's very interesting to see her with with a bow and arrow, yeah. Seeing there's an arrow in her chest, yeah. Seeing that she's coming home, yeah. But what does it mean? I don't know. Alright, I am not doing any more. I got to go to this right now. I know I can talk about the contract signing, and I know I can talk about... Look, I'm just going to say this. Was the contract signing effective? I don't know. Because of how it was done and seeing Chris run away from Ima Ishii. I don't know. It looked alright, but I don't know if I really care. Final thing. Skipped over it. Bobby Lashley. Hamburger and Kenneth, I believe. That's the other guy's name. Destroyed. Then Swerve comes out, nails him with a chain, stomps his ass along with giving him a kick in the head, and then he runs away happy. I know I'm just going through it. I'm not even going to talk about Prince Nana. You guys know what happened. Breathe. This pissed my ass off beyond no end. You're now days before Full Gear, which would have been the debut of Bobby Lashley, decide on a fucking Dynamite. A fucking Dynamite. To blow your fucking load to show what Bobby Lashley could do instead of doing it at pay-per-view. I don't know about anyone else. I found this entire thing completely stupid. They just cut the knees out of the Hurt Syndicate. That's the truth. The Hurt Syndicate just got his legs taken out. I don't care what anybody says. There was no point in doing it here. There was no point. None. This did not help Bobby. This didn't help MPP. This did not help Shelton Benjamin. And it definitely didn't help Swerve. It didn't help Swerve. It didn't. There was no point in doing this here. It made no sense for him to come out and attack. And worse yet, he shouldn't even need to come out because Bobby should never came out. It was necessary for him to show himself at the pay-per-view, to show how great he is against Swerve. If you wanted Bobby to show what he could do before a pay-per-view, guess what? Don't use him in fucking Full Gear. Use him at World's End. I don't give blue fuck what anybody thinks. This was so dumb. I don't get it. Why? It's a title. And that's being tame and how I really feel. I wanted to say basically, fuck this shit. They just screwed over Bobby Lashley. I thought of using that title, but no. That's not the way I work. I give at least a fair understanding what's going on. You just brought in Bobby Lashley. You want to make him feel important. Bring him in a pay-per-view will allow people who have not seen him or who has seen him, at least you'll give him a good presentation. But no, you blow your load now instead of waiting for the damn pay-per-view. And it's hard enough as it is with AEW, whose booking is like this all over the damn place, that now you just did the most stupidest booking where not one damn promoter, not in TNA, not in, well, let's be honest, TKO WWE would never done something that stupid either, even though when it comes to NXT, you got 3 women there that should not be seen and should be built up. No, they're screwing around with that. But at least there was no pay-per-view involved in it. They just had regular shows, and that's how they've been presented. I can say that. But TKO WWE would never done this. TNA would never done this. MLW probably would never done this. NWA would never done this. I'm sure with Scott D'Amore, which I heard Scott D'Amore was over at NXT, and the one who keeps saying over and over again, I don't know what's with Scott. He don't mean anything. Then why the blue fuck did he end up in NXT looking around? Shut the fuck up. That's not meant to be disrespectful. I want to make it very clear. That is not meant to be disrespectful, but the one who always I talk to out of respect, and I do talk respectful, and I've always stated, hey, I never agree with everything Scott D'Amore did, but Scott D'Amore managed to get, let's make it very clear, TNA would not be where it is if it wasn't for him. That's the truth. He did mess up a lot, but he did more good than he messed up. And now TKO WWE gave him a tour of their performance center. So that means something. Know your role. Scott would have never booked that either. He wouldn't have done it. He would have made sure that they would be presented properly at a pay-per-view, that if people didn't see them, at least show them some interest, like there was something that means something important about them. But you just blew it here. And I'm angry. This was so stupid. I don't know what JD's going to say. I haven't checked. I don't know what just Alex is going to say. I haven't checked. I don't know what Solomons is going to say. I don't know at all what these people are going to say, or even Wrestling Inc. I have no idea what any of these people are going to say. Maybe they'll say it's great, but I don't think so. They're going to agree with me and say, why did you do this only a few days before Full Gear, that you made Bobby Lashley go out there and destroy 2 jobbers, when it should be better to leave them at a pay-per-view where it would make the most impact? Not here. But that's just me. Peace.